Yeah, so the Behringer 800 is a copy of the Pro-600, and that one had very slow envelopes or envelope times. So it's said that it's not so ideal for basses and percussive sounds. And with the Behringer Pro-800, you have the possibility to change this. But you can change it even more with the trick, and I show you how it goes. So that's the basic patch. And if you try to set fast envelope times, like you try to program a bass sound, I think for many people this will be fine. But you don't have much control in this range. And it's always a little slow, so to speak. And you can change this shape. If you go to Performance 4 VCF envelope shape, you press 4 2 times to go there, and then you see it says SLIN, which stands for slow linear. And that's slow linear means that's the shape of the decay. So it's in a linear fashion, a slow decay, a slow linear decay and release. And you can change it to, let's say, the first fast exponential. Yeah, it reads like an H, but it's meant to be an X. Fast exponential, and now the decay and release curves are more like this and not going down like this. And you can instantly hear it. And you get much more control in this small range. And it's kind of okay. I mean, but as soon as you turn up the resonance, can you hear that? You see, it sounds a bit rubbery and a bit sluggish. And you can turn it to 0, it doesn't matter. And yeah. I mean, it's not a big thing, but you can work around this here, and you can use the envelope amount value. You can set it to negative. And what that means is, if you open up the filter and you set the sustain to full, so the sustain is now closing the filter. It's the other way around. And same for the attack time. Now the attack time is the decay. Can you hear that? But now the filter starts at a higher value and closes with the attack time. And can you hear the filter now? Now it's really zappy. It's more precise. And I think you get a better control of the filter attack range, of the filter decay range, if you use this as a decay. I mean, this only works for simple sounds where you only have a attack, decay, and everything goes to 0, but I think it's a nice workaround. I mean, even these filter bass drum sounds seem to be possible. Yeah, I mean, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, and if you, just for comparison, if you now compare to the sound with high resonance, if I use positive envelope amount and not negative envelope amount, yeah, it's just not quite the same. So another thing I wanted to show is the sequencer of the Pro-800. Yeah, in order to make this work, you need to check a few settings. So you see buttons, there's two buttons. There's a sync source button and a sync clock button. So on the sync source, you need to make sure that it's synced to a valid source, and now it's set to MIDI sync or to USB sync or to external sync. That's this input. I will use the internal sync, and then in the sync clock you can set certain parameters like the BPM. Here you can set the range, like, I don't know, let's set it to 125. On the next page, the subdivision of the notes. Now it's set to 1/16. You can set it to 1/8, 1/4, and yeah, like third notes. So there's a lot possible there. Like it goes up to a 32nd, but I will use the 16th here. And then there's a swing parameter. I come to that later. And the note length. So how long will the note be held? Yeah, so it's a lot of parameters to set here. Yeah, but here you can set exactly how it plays. And then if you want to record a sequence, you just go to Record and then activate sequence 1. Now on my unit it says 17. That means 17 steps are already recorded in this sequence. So I'm going to delete it. I press the 0. Now it's gone. And if I want to put in a note, I just play a key on the keyboard. Now it's a new note in the sequencer, and I can just add steps, and it will be played in the rhythm of what I set in the subdivision of the sync clock. So this was one note. Let's play a second, a third. Okay, I just played some notes, and if you want to listen to it, yeah, that's what I played. Yeah, that's what I was playing into the unit. But you can do more with these buttons when the sync rec is activated, and I will show you how. So let's say you want to put in a pause between the notes. So let's do this again. I go to Record, sequence 1, and I delete it. And now I want to have like a sequence with some rests in between the notes, like the first note. Then I set a pause. I press the 2, and now it jumps to 3. So it automatically advances one step and doesn't save a note on this step. Let's do it again and again. Okay, now I have 16 notes recorded. Let's deactivate rec and let's listen how it sounds. Yeah, so now you hear you have rests between the notes, and if you go to this sync clock menu, then you can play with the parameters like swing. Yeah, or you can set the note length. Yep, so just for example, and what you also can do, you can put in held notes, longer notes, and not just pauses, and it works in the same way. You just press button 2, but in a different order, and then it will advance the note. Let me show you what I mean. Press rec 1 and sequence 1, and then I delete it again. And when I now want to hold a note, like a longer note, then I press the key, I hold the key, and then I press 2. You see, and now it advances. And yeah. Let's see how that sounds. I recorded some notes. You see, and this is the held note. Yeah, this is like a tight note. And yeah, as I said, press a key, hold the key, and then press 2, and it will hold the note. And if you release the key and press 2, it will put in a pause. Okay? Yeah, and what you also can do, you can use the other sequence and record other stuff in there. I don't know. Let's try something. Record and 2. And maybe, yeah, I just play something. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, and now if you press sequence 1 and sequence 2 together, they will play in parallel. I mean, that's pretty nice. Like you play sequence 1, and then you press sequence 2 and it comes in. And then, I mean, you can also add an arpeggio to it, which is, I don't know, I didn't see that before. So you can activate the arpeggiator, and then, I don't know, in another octave you just play an arpeggio to it. Yeah. I mean, isn't that nice? And it has a lot of creative potential to work with these functions. And on top of that, I mean, it's really a lot of functionality in this little thing. On top of that, you can transpose the sequences as well. So let's say you have this one as a baseline or whatever. You can just press performance, hold it, and then press settings. And now you see it says transpose. And you can transpose it with the keyboard. And if you want to transpose it to another note, yeah, you hear what happens. Sometimes if you don't hit the both buttons at once, so you really, it's a bit tricky. You really need to be quick with it, because if you press performance and then press performance again, it says P800. What now happens? It plays a sound which is like made up from all the parameters exactly how they are on the panel. So that's the panel mode. So if you don't know if you want to find out how it sounds, what's set here, then you can press performance 2 times, and then you're in this mode, in panel mode. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit unfortunate, like if you have the sequence running, then you have to press performance. But yeah, that's the way it works, and you can experiment with it. I think it's nice, and it will also work with both sequences. So let's see. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, and also what's also interesting is you can play the other parts of the keyboard, like the other keys, while the sequence is playing. You see? And also you can put in chords. That's also interesting. Yeah, so now let's set up a new basic patch and go to sequence 1, delete it. And let's say now I want to play some chords. Yeah, maybe this. Okay, so now we have this sequence. And if you set the resolution of the subdivisions to much slower, yeah, 1/4 is the slowest. Yeah, just for trying out. Yeah, I mean, that's how it works. And you can mix and match. So you can play something like, I don't know. Yeah, you can just play single notes, chords, pauses, binding notes. And I mean, to be honest, it will be very complicated to work like this, of course. But there's a lot of creative potential and a lot of room for happy accidents. And you might find something interesting.